All right, folks, Yishai Fleisher here in the United States Capitol, Washington, D.C. In London, however, they are not being pro-Israel at all. They're being anti-Israel. They just decided to BDS, to boycott, divest, and sanction two Israeli sitting ministers. Basically, in other words, the UK has decided to boycott the government of Israel, i.e. to boycott the state of Israel. There's no other way to read it. And they called me yesterday from the BBC, Radio 4, I think, to interview me about what I thought of the new UK policy, the anti-Semitism dressed up as trying to save people. They're not trying to save anybody, and you'll hear my rough time that I gave them for their awful anti-Semitic, anti-Israel policies. Check out my radio appearance on the BBC right here.
Came on air, I spoke to Yishai Fleisher, an on-off advisor to Ben-Gvir. He, like Mr. Ben-Gvir, lives in a West Bank settlement and describes himself as a right-wing nationalist resettler. I asked him for his reaction to the UK's implementation of sanctions.
My reaction is that it's a sad day for Western civilization when the formerly great country of England and the UK and other countries have completely succumbed to the jihadist narrative. Just as the streets of London are succumbing to jihad, so too has the government stance. And now, instead of defending Israel, which is the lone Jewish state that is constantly under attack from radical Islam, the UK has joined in the wrong side to fight against the Jewish state, to try to shrink it and destroy it, and now to delegitimize its government. Of course, in the end, what will happen is that delegitimization will boomerang onto England, and it'll continue to shrink and continue to suffer from being itself taken over by jihadism.
Our listeners would not recognise that characterisation, and the government certainly would reject it very strongly. But let me read you a quote from the Foreign Secretary.
What do you mean by your listeners? There's millions of British people. Many people disagree with you with your characterization. You know everybody that listens to you. You have one type of person out there. There are millions of people in the UK that are sad about what has happened today and where this government is leading them. And I get emails from them all the time.
Let me read you a quote from David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary. He said, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich have incited extremist violence and serious abuses of Palestinian human rights. These actions are not acceptable. This is why we have taken action now to hold those responsible to account.
David Lammy should be renamed David Lamy, okay, because his words are lame. He is taking the victim and blaming the victim, probably because they're in either the pay or frightened by jihad, or they have a very sick understanding of who the good guy and who the bad guy is in this world.
Ben-Gvir has called for Gazans to be resettled from the territory, home to 2.1 million people.
Every single war that has happened in the last year, there have been refugees that the world has helped millions of people leave in the Ukraine, in Syria. There's only one group of refugees in this world that the UK wants them to stay put and die at the hands of the jihad and at the hands of the army that's trying to defend itself. And that's the Palestinians, which are being used as pawns by your government in order for them to die so that they could blame Israel and suck up to Hamas. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And this idiotic framing of the situation, instead of saving Arabs, saving Palestinians by helping them find refuge somewhere else. No, there's only one group of people that you want to die at the hands of the war and at the hands of the jihad. So I reject these lamey language that your secretary there says, because at the end of the day, he is not interested in their safety, Palestinians, but in their death, so he could suck up to his friends at Hamas.
Mr. Fleischer, the UK is one of Israel's oldest allies. And along with Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Norway, several Western countries, natural friends of yours, are now urging Israel to change course, to stop the war, let aid into Gaza. Does any of what is being said today with the imposition of these sanctions give you any pause for thought?
Absolutely. It's making me think how sad the state of affairs is and how confused these countries have become and how their moral compass has been completely broken. They don't know what good and bad is in this world, or they've been bullied or bought.
Is there any action that your allies like the UK could take that would force a rethink in Israel at the moment?
I'm not a representative of the British government. and I'm not going to give you secrets about how to weaken the Jewish state. I would say, why don't you guys just mind your own business, fix your own country, and let us fight our war so that we could destroy the people that seek to destroy us. I'm not here to give you little hints about how to make Israel stop its just war against the jihad. I'm here to fight for our rights to exist, and I'm here to push back on various kinds of bullies, if it's the jihad or their friends today in the British government.
That was Yishai Fleisher, a sometime advisor to Ben Gvir.
All right, folks, thanks so much for being with me. That was me on the BBC fighting back against bad policies of that country. Let's do good policies. Let's be strong. First thing to do is to like, subscribe, comment, and check out the links below to support. Great way to support us is Fight for Israel, fightforisrael.org, and also buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. Another great way to support is to pray to the God of Israel for the strength of Israel. And if you're in this capital, send good messages to your representatives, and around the world, send it to your leaders. There's many great ways to support Israel. The first thing is to be connected to the God of Israel. God bless you wherever you are. Lots of love and lots of blessings, and shalom.